Now I'm going to talk about scales, and they're the building blocks of music. And so scales are stepwise movements going up one note at a time, as it were. If we were starting on an A note, we'll just say going A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and climbing up a little higher with each note. And that's where we really get the melodies for our songs that we do and the harmony. So scales are very important. Melody, harmony, and rhythm are the building blocks of what we define as music. So if music doesn't have those three elements, then you probably don't want to really call it music. So scales are one of those segments of that whole picture. And with scales, I'm going to go ahead and just give you some of the scales I would use in soloing. I will go back to A again, the key of A. And one of the most basic scales, probably about the most basic actually, is the pentatonic scale. It's the 5-note scale, penta, 5, tonic, tone, or notes. And in the key of A, this is called the minor pentatonic, by the way. And so I've got the notes A, C, D, E, G, and those can be played throughout the neck. I'm down here in the first position, which is where my first finger lies. And now sometimes when folks are learning these 5 positions of this scale I'm going to show you, they'll call this form 1 or diagram 1 or whatever. There's certain areas or finger assignments that we do that people are the most familiar with, we'll say, and use the most in the blues genre and rock as far as that goes. But what I'm doing is I'm starting on this end of the neck and the first, basically the first 3 frets. And I'm calling it first position because my first finger's at the first fret, second finger second, and so on, third. But we're going to have 5 positions total of this pentatonic scale. And again, A, C, D, E, G, and I'll continue that on. A, C, D, E, G, and then descending. And if you want to include the top string, G, E, G, A. So that would be the first position. You can work with a metronome if you want to set a metronome 70 to 80 beats per minute and play quarter notes, which are 1 note per beat. At first, just to get familiar with the shape, the form, the position. Then go to 8th notes. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down. In terms of the right hand, I usually typically go with a heavy pick, normal heavy size. I'm really giving Ernie Ball some props. And if Sterling ever sees this, hey, thanks for the strings I've gotten in the past and picks, etc. I'll take some more. Anyway, I happen to be using an Ernie Ball heavy pick, but I've used really thick picks. I know a long, long time ago they had these agate stone mine picks, they called them, and they were hard as a rock, literally, because they were stone. But they're glass, and if you should ever pull one out of your pocket when you're in West Palm Beach, Florida, in a grocery store, they shatter on hard floors. Now, here in the studio, it's a nice, soft, carpeted floor, and it won't happen. Heavy picks are good. I recommend my students medium to heavy. Stay away from the light, thin picks. Typically, I don't like those or recommend those. But again, I use regular heavy, sometimes heavier, or even a jazz pick, which is thinner in size than this. And I just have it extend. There's different rules on this too, but I have it extend off of my first finger, just kind of naturally, and put my thumb over top. And don't have too much exceeding beyond that, and try to keep a minimal amount going underneath the string too, so it doesn't hinder the picking. When you're picking the string, you don't want to have it go way down deep like that. That'll slow you down, but just the tip is good. And keeping your hand close to the string. Working with a metronome really helps out a lot.